Okay. Look at this room filling up, guys. I'm so excited. Ooh. Let me go ahead. I am going to. Oh, you're coming in. Come on in. It's just about to crack the door, and I was like, oh, I don't want to shut anybody out. Uh, back here too, just so it's done. All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I really appreciate you guys taking a little bit of time out of your busy schedules, especially bright and early in the morning. But we are going to go ahead and dive into KWB Orientation Week, which is intended to kind of be your intro to Ignite, giving you a stronger foundation of where things are here, who you have as resources, and just so you feel a lot more comfortable calling KWB Valentine home right away. So the way we like to kick this off, obviously we will explore a lot of KW Valentine specific things today as a group. Mainly, I will be instructing on a lot of that, and we're going to take a look at kwbresources.com together. But before we dive into that, I do like to respect the time of our leadership team. So if you guys would like to come up here, Lynn might stay stationary. We'll see. I was going to say, I was like, we'll see. But we are just going to, yeah, we are, we, yes, we are right. She did. We are just going to introduce ourselves to you guys, let you know who we are on this team, what we specifically do on this team as well. So that way you feel a little more comfortable reaching out to us with questions as they might come up. So if there's somebody up here you've not yet been introduced to, you'll get to learn a little bit about them now. Pass that down for you.
Start.
Yeah, go for it. We'll go right to left. Just knock it out.
I don't know if I've
What's
met
up?
any of you before. Darren, assistant team leader here at the office. So again, the focus on new agent growth and business consulting as well. So the strategy sessions, feel free to pop by. And then I do dual career coaching on the weekends for the office.
Yeah.
Here.
Thank you, Darren.
I'm Lynn, I'm the market center administrator. So I run the office. I'm the one that pays you. I'm the one that collects your agent invoice, my least favorite job in the world. Anytime you need anything, I'm always here. I've been in this office for 18 and a half years. So I've seen it all, been there. Policy is with commissions, as long as your file's complete. If it's in before noon, you're paid the next morning. So we do have a quick turnaround, and it's direct deposit right into your bank account the next day. And my doors, like I said, I sit right next to Liz. My door's always open. If it's closed, that means I'm either on a Zoom call or I'm closing the books for the month.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Today. Teresa, nice to see everybody. How long do we have to do this? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
How many people do we have on Zoom? Did we have a Zoom
So we
family
have,
on?
I think, 5 on Zoom, at least when I first
Amazing.
opened it up. So, hey, everybody on Zoom.
Hi, Zoom. So technically my job title right now is interim team leader, along with this handsome gentleman here to my right. We are co-interim team leaders. I spent the last 3 years as Keller Williams Ballantyne's official team leader. So as we are looking for our next amazing talent, we are the interim couple. As of, yeah. As of January, it was just announced, I will officially be the general manager of Keller Williams. So you're stuck with me. I'm here. I'm here for all of it. My door is literally not a door, so my door is always open. Text me, call me, email, literally here for all of it. Whatever questions you guys have.
Yay. Thank you.
So yeah, that co-interim team leader, Chip Walton, been Keller Williams almost 25 years. I was team leader of this office for what, 5 years, from 2015 through the end of 2019, and then took some other leadership journeys. The last few years, I'm back helping out here, do some classes, do some training, some mindset stuff, market related. I'm a data and numbers person, so I do a lot of that here as well.
Yay. Well, thank you.
Questions from anybody?
Okay. And you guys already know who I am because you've all met with me so far. So, but just to remind you guys, I obviously handle agent services. I am also Lynn's assistant. So if there are any questions, especially while you guys are getting settled in here, I am a great point of contact. I will always tell you that if I do not know the answer, I do know who does know the answer. So I'd be happy to make that connection for you guys. But without further ado, thank you, everybody. We're going to go ahead and dive into kwbresources.com so that you guys can get better acquainted with where a lot of your tools exist. So this, again, is just a handout everyone should have received already from me. It's in that packet you would have picked up when we first joined. So we will get yours in just a couple days, Estella. You are ready to go. She's actually ahead of schedule, guys. But we are excited to get you guys diving in. So let's go ahead and explore KWB resources. So before we really dive in, just a second here, I wanted take a picture so I don't forget who is on my call here today. Thank you guys online. But what I do like to mention to you guys is when you are attending Ignite this Friday, one of the handouts you'll pick up will actually be what's known as a graduation checklist. On the graduation checklist, we outline all 20 sessions of Ignite on there. And then we have at the bottom some additional trainings we recommend, more about how we operate here in the office. One of which will say KWB Keys to Success. That's a class that I teach. It's the same class that we were going to go over today. So when you guys get your handout on Friday, you can already sign that one because you will have already attended that class. So there's going to be a couple that you'll be hitting just by attending this orientation week. So when you get that wonderful handout, you can actually sign off on a couple of those items to give yourself credit for already sitting in those rooms. So yay, congratulations, guys. You're already ahead of the game. But what we're going to do is we are now going to look at KWB resources together. I do promise you guys that we will be out of here ahead of 11 o'clock. That is a guarantee. So it's just a matter of how quickly we can get through the information. But please do not be afraid to ask me questions. But hopefully I'll get you guys enjoying this lovely weather before long. So on kwbresources.com, guys, we always start at the homepage because it's exactly where we land. But I also like to kind of take you guys through this as though you were just scrolling on it yourselves. So that way we can kind of piece together the information. There's also going to be multiple ways to pull to the same information as we go through this website. So I try to highlight the most convenient ways, in my opinion, just so it's not super convoluted. You're not trying to remember this 3-4 step process to get to information. So what we do first together is we actually take a detour to this new agent button right here at the front door of our page. If you click on new agents, it's actually going to pull you just to some key information for our new agents, making it a lot easier for you guys to find some of the information immediately relevant to you. So on the left-hand side, there is a getting started section. If you were to select the Learn More option here, what it will do is it will actually take you to a quick checklist that's just going to detail the onboarding process. So most of us have gone through the onboarding process. Estella's just ahead of the game. But so for those of us who've gone through the onboarding, you already know exactly how that went. For those of us anticipating onboarding, it gives you a little bit of an idea of what we ask for, who you'll be hearing from, how quickly you'll hear from them. So it just gives you a little bit more structure in terms of what to expect. But below that, something that is always helpful to see is this things you can do immediately section at the bottom, one of which you'll see is actually for us to explore this website together. We're also going to look at the office training calendar as part of today's class, talking a little bit more about Ignite, which, as you guys know, starts on Friday. We are going to go through 2 weeks of Ignite in November. We take off the entire week of Thanksgiving just so you guys can travel without any concerns of missing anything. We'll come back for another 2 weeks in the start of December, and that way, again, we get you guys out well ahead of holiday travel. But Ignite is going to be a fantastic program, 20 sessions long, and it's designed specifically to really give you guys that strong foundation, teaching you all the things that you thought you were going to learn in real estate school, but ended up really just learning more the legal side of things. So this is going to outline more of what you guys are responsible for handling, how you can be the best advocate and adversary for your clients. And then also you guys will, what you'll gain out of this is you'll gain relationships amongst each other. You guys will build really strong bonds and you'll carry those on through your time here. I can't tell you how many agents I'll walk into or I've met in the hallway that have told me, oh, I went through Ignite with so-and-so. This is like 10, 15 years ago. So these relationships you guys are formulating now do matter and they will count, they will last. So treat them that way. And also the other great thing is you're going to build relationships with some top producers in our office as part of this because those are going to be your instructors for class. So one thing you will notice is at the very start of class, everybody's going to put their contact information on the board when they first get in here. Make sure you write that down because they're giving you guys that for a reason. They want you to feel comfortable reaching out if you have questions. So know that Ignite is right around the corner. It is going to be a blast. You guys are going to have lots of fun. There's going to be lots of time for you to get hands-on practice. And I think you guys will really enjoy the takeaways you get from it. So we're going to look at some great Facebook pages to join as well today, and then also attending office meetings. Clearly, y'all are already doing great with that, so congratulations. We are going to just hop back over now to the new agent section we were looking at. That was our getting started piece here. On the right-hand side, guys, you're going to see under basic training, there is a little button that says learn more. If we click on that, it does take us to the Scott Leroy Marketing website. So the Scott Leroy Marketing team, for those of us who do not recall, they are going to be the ones who have put together all of your KW technology. So the email address, the website, the DocuSign access, Scott Leroy took care of all of that for you. They are our third-party marketing consultants, and they work with hundreds of Keller Williams offices, so they're very reputable in this matter and very, very well acquainted with your KW technology. So a great resource to have. But the Scott Leroy team, their support does not just stop after that initial setup. They are ongoing support team for you. So there's a couple different ways that I like to point out that you could actually take advantage of their resources or through our partnership. On their website, we happen to land right here where this search bar is. So my recommendation is always that you guys could do something as simple as just search QR code. If you've never ever made a QR code before, but you know that they're popular now, the scanning tool, you want to make sure that that's implemented on your marketing so you look like you're kind of keeping up with everybody else, but you have no idea how to get started, you actually can use Scott Leroy to take care of that process. So you could actually just go right where it says search on SLM. You could search QR code and a little form will come up. You can fill out a couple key little bits of information, primarily who you are, how they can get in touch with you with that information, and what website you want the QR code linked to. And you can plug in all that information. They'll shoot that back to you guys within an hour. So they're really, really helpful and hands-on with that support. So just simple things like that, that sometimes I think we overcomplicate by thinking, oh my gosh, I've got to figure this out. I've got to be the only one who's going to know. You have some additional resources. So just always check those resources and see, because you never know what could be happening in the background. But so that's the search bar. Again, you're not limited just to QR codes. You guys can search anything on here. That's just an example I like to make you aware of. Other than that, though, when we are looking at this page, the other thing I will always point out is agent resources up here at the top. You'll notice that right now that drop-down menu is very short. It's only a couple items. But if we click on agent resources, it's going to prompt us to type in our market center number so that it can recognize our partnership through that information. So our market center number is 350. I can almost guarantee you guys have seen that number one too many times at this point. And you'll see it again over there on that board. But 350 is the market center number for KW Valentine. When you type in that information there, you'll notice that now, once it recognizes that input, our agent resources has become a longer drop-down menu. So now they're recognizing, okay, so Valentine pays to be part of this partnership. They actually get extended resources. So you guys, as the agent, get to take advantage of those resources. One thing I always love to share with you guys is under this training option, to the right of that, you're actually going to see it says training calendar. By selecting that button there, what it will do is it will take you to the Scott Leroy Marketing Team's live training calendar. So I know that in real estate, everybody's schedules look a little bit different, and that's okay. We understand that sometimes if your schedule is a little bit more complicated, it might be challenging to make some of the Tuesdays and Thursday afternoon tech trainings in the office work well for you. So if that's ever the case, I want you guys to be aware that the Scott Leroy Marketing Team offers supplemental training beyond just what we offer in the office. You actually could look at their training calendar and see that they teach Monday through Friday from 1 to 2 o'clock, a live webinar every single day. So this is just another opportunity for you guys to get some of the information you may be looking for at a time that works better for your schedule, or you could even just find topics that are maybe more timely for you, because what we do here is we'll rotate the topics that we're sharing. Jules and Leah will rotate topics. Jenna will rotate topics. Sometimes you might find that you're looking to learn about Facebook ads and that's just not on the calendar for the next couple of weeks. And you're like, dang, but I really wanted to learn that like now. This is a great way for you guys to come back to the Scott Leroy calendar. Just see if they happen to be sharing about that in the next little bit. And that way you guys have the opportunity to still do a live training session based on the information you're looking to learn. So keeping this in mind, again, if your schedule is more complicated, if you're looking for timely information, it's just another opportunity for you guys to get tech training when you may need it most. And then if you guys want just an easier overview of this calendar, there's actually a little PDF that you can download below that just gives you the topics for the entire month. Otherwise, you guys can also find that they have some recorded training classes available. So in case it's not a live seminar that you were able to attend, you're looking for maybe something that's already been held, you can find that information here. And then I also like to point out that at the very bottom, there is what's called marketing support. Again, coming back to the fact that the Scott Leroy team's support is very extensive, they do actually offer a lot of free concierge services to you as the agent. So I don't ever have quite enough time to explore that with you today, but I would implore you guys to look into what those concierge services are, because there's a lot that they can do for you just to take it off of your plate and be that leverage source. I always use the example of if it's a listing you've got coming up, they actually can help you guys to prep that listing marketing, including the flyers and things like that. They just need to have enough time, obviously, to get that done before you need it. Usually, I think they say like at least 48-hour window. But you guys can send that information. They'll send it back to you for free. So just know that that's something else that you can have in your back pocket as a tool. And I definitely would recommend exploring that at your earliest convenience so you know how they can help you guys out and you maximize those opportunities. But that's going to be the first few items that we look at on the Scott Leroy page. The other piece that I always point out is actually over here where it says store. So if you guys select where it says store, this will take you to agentstore.com. And this is where I always recommend you guys go for ordering your business cards. This is not something that you are required to use as your business card source. This is just an option. And the reason I specifically point this out is because through agentstore.com, we are partnered again through our partnership with Scott Leroy Marketing. We are connected with Agent Store, and what they can do for you guys is they actually can create. They have different Keller Williams specific business card templates. I was struggling to get there. Business card templates that are out there already. I think it's like 32 or so that are already out there floating around. All you guys have to do is click on the template that you like, and then just plug in your specific information. It will fill it out for you. And then it's really easy for you guys to then order those custom cards. Again, you're not limited to this. You could do Vistaprint, you could do Canva, you could do something very unique. But if you guys are looking for something that I think is very cost effective and also just easy plug and play, Agent Store is a great resource. For me, 500 cards a few years ago only cost, I think, $39. So just very, very cost effective for sure. I also will mention while we're talking about business cards that, again, you guys may use any source you want. The most important thing for you guys to know is if you are provisional broker status, so you are brand newly licensed in North Carolina, have not completed your post licensing, you have to, or you are required to get business card approval by Tasha Viney, our BIC associate. She needs to be able to review that business card design, make sure it's okay before you guys place the order. The reason is not to inconvenience you, is to keep you guys in compliance, not get you in trouble or in real estate jail, and also to keep you guys from spending money on anything that you can't actually use. So be aware that you are responsible for getting Tasha's approval. I always say it's as easy as screenshotting it, sending it to her in a text and saying, does this look good? If not, she also has an office here. She's here 3 days a week, and we'll look at those hours shortly. But you guys could just pop right by and then ask her to review that information if her door is open. So keep it in mind, guys. That's the most important thing to be aware of. For business cards, you absolutely must get Tasha's approval if you are a provisional broker. That's the entire getting started section, and then also the basic training section, as I like to share with you guys. Again, obviously there's tons that we did not get to look at the Scott Leroy site, so please go back and look at that at your convenience, see what else they have to offer. Otherwise, as we scroll a little bit further under our new agent section, you're also going to find that there's a list of some great Facebook pages you may join. So I always reference these top two as the most important I would recommend for joining as a new agent. The top is going to be an internal internal page just amongst our leadership team and our agent base here at KW Valentine. So it's just you guys as our agents and our leadership team. So on this page, you guys are able to collaborate with each other, ask questions. I know a lot of times, especially with brand new agents, I'm seeing you guys snag up those open house opportunities or showing assistant opportunities where you can get compensated for your help, or you get the opportunity to lead generate really easily. Easy way for you guys to get your foot in the door. I also see on that page that a lot of times as you guys progress, or even maybe early on, if you haven't made connections with vendors yet, and you're like, oh gosh, well, I got this listing and I'm so excited, but it's in Hickory and I don't know anybody who can do anything in Hickory. So you guys can ask that question, say, hey, has anybody ever worked with a landscaper out in Hickory that they loved? Who can I have come spruce up my listing? People will screenshot contacts out of their phone and drop them in the comments just to help you guys along. So truly the collaboration runs very deeply in this office. You can see it right out in the hallways, but you also see it on that Facebook group. The Facebook is also nice because, again, we don't have every single agent in this office trying to cram through the door at once. So you'll find that you also have access to some other agents who may be able to help you that are not necessarily physically in the office. So just be aware that the Facebook group is great for communication. I'm also constantly talking about the upcoming trainings and events. So I would recommend being part of this Facebook group just to stay in the loop on what's going on and all things Valentine. Also, so you guys can start building relationships with other agents and get your foot in the door, get the ball rolling in your business. What was it? So this information here, if you're on the home page, we are just under new agents right here under the double doors, and then it just scroll down. Yep. I know this is why we do it together, because it is a little confusing at times where it's like, you wouldn't know that that's hiding back there. So that's why we do it together. So thank you for asking, and please feel free to continue to ask questions as we go. Like a business page. So actually you can join with your own personal Facebook if you'd like to. Like I know for me, I'm not an agent, so I only have a personal Facebook. But we have agents who will create that business Facebook page and maybe they'll join with that. But we have agents who are using their personal accounts on there because it's just internal. So you're welcome to do either. Or like some agents will do all the accounts that they have on Facebook. They're part of that Facebook group. So whatever works well for you is fine with us. Below that, there's another Facebook group we recommend that's also managed by our office, and this is our vendor Facebook group. So this is going to be our agent base, our leadership team, and our preferred vendor partners. So at Keller Williams Valentine, one of the unique things that we have to offer is going to be our vendor program. Not every single office has a vendor program. For us, these vendors have all been vetted by other KW Valentine agents, meaning they've worked with other agents in this office. You know that they offer a reliable product or service, and that they're just a great team to work with. So we always encourage you guys, especially first getting started, if you don't already have a slew of vendors that you know and trust, the vendor Facebook page can be a very easy way for you guys to get connected with some great vendors. There's also an easy way on that Facebook page for you to search. There's like a little magnifying glass. You could search by the industry. For example, I need a contractor, I need a landscaper, and all those companies that will populate are part of the vendor program, but they're all related to that industry. There's also another way if you're just not a Facebook user, that's okay. I promise you I will show you another way to access our vendors as well. But the Facebook page can be great because, again, easy way for you guys to get connected, but the vendors are also always on there talking about the different promotions they're running, new services they're offering. So it could just be a good opportunity for you guys to also take advantage of some of those. Otherwise, the other two pages you're going to see here, we've got Charlotte Area Realtor Network and KW Carolinas region. Both of these are not managed by our office. The Charlotte Area Realtor Network is just real estate agents in the local Charlotte area. And then you've got the KW Carolinas region. This one is going to be all Keller Williams offices between North and South Carolina are part of the KW Carolinas region. So this would be allowing you guys to get connected with other agents within all of KW in the Carolinas. So it could be an opportunity for you guys to build your referral network. Maybe you're starting to get connected with people out at the beach because you don't have MLS out there, but you know you've got some relatives that might be looking to get their vacation homes out that way. So easy way for you guys to build a referral network. The other really cool thing as well, just to be aware of, is that you guys obviously have access to a lot of fantastic trainings right here in this office, but also the KW Carolinas region puts on their own set of of trainings as well. So you have access to a whole second tier of training opportunities just by being part of the KW Carolinas region. And you guys can find out more about those opportunities right there using their Facebook group. They're also great because they hold them all around the Carolinas. So sometimes you can go to Myrtle Beach to attend like Leverage Series. It could be a write-off, little beach trip, all the good things. So just keep it in mind. Kellerisms, this is going to just be something brief I'll mention. If you were to click on that little handout there, what it'll do is it will break down all the terminology that's unique to Keller Williams, and it's just going to put real world definitions next to it, because there's some terms that you're going to hear here that you're like, oh yeah, capping. I know what that one is. When you hear something like a 145, it's a little harder to guess of what that might mean. So if you are a little shy, or maybe you're just coming across this word for the first time after hours, you guys have an easy way to identify what that might be referring to by clicking on Kellerisms. And then we also come across some of the helpful tech resources that are available to you guys. So this one here, if you see still regarding questions about KW Command, there's a little button here that says answers.kw.com. For anybody who has met with me to finish their onboarding process, you guys already know about answers.kw.com. This is going to be a knowledge-based website that you guys can visit anytime you need to, because it is an on-demand resource. You guys can go there and you can specifically search keywords related to what you may be working on. And kind of like you would with Google, these helpful articles will populate towards the top that are related to that topic. You'll also find sometimes it'll do like a little AI overview, just like Google does as well, where it gives you like a one quick answer at the top. But again, it's just another way to, if you guys are still working through navigating your KW technology, either you don't know how to do something for the very first time, maybe you're feeling like you're experiencing an issue along the way, you guys can search keywords related to what you're working on, and these helpful articles will come up in answers.kw.com. That's going to be specifically about commands, DocuSign, and other KW technology. There is a sister website to this too, to be aware of. It's called ideas.kw.com. If you guys ever have feedback you'd like to share about commands, maybe you love certain features and you just wish they were available somewhere else on the page, or maybe you're like, no, like this could be 10 times easier. Let me share how that could be done. You guys can provide your feedback, because whether you are brand new, this is your first ever CRM, or you have experience with another CRM, they're always looking to find out this information from you, because they want command to work for you as the agent. So anytime you have helpful feedback, feel free to provide it. Labs is always unveiling new updates for command, and very well, you guys might see one of yours come to life, which is pretty cool. And then a little bit further, you do see that we've got access to your Ignite materials. I will tell you guys, again, there's no registration necessary for Friday. Just come on in 9 to noon on Friday to spend time with us and participate in the Ignite launch. After you guys have attended Ignite launch, since that's more of an orientation than anything else to Ignite and explaining what the whole program looks like, what to expect in it, you guys won't need to have any physical materials with you walking in the door on Friday. But starting on Monday, you'll want to have this Ignite set of materials. I will email you guys all a digital copy of the materials you need, so that you do not have to have anything physically on hand. So you can either find the materials here on your own if you'd like to, or you can just let me email them to you on Friday, so you don't have to worry about that extra step. So whatever works for you is fine with me, but I'm happy to email it to you. And then a little bit further, there is an easy way to get back to our training calendar. Again, like I mentioned at the start of class, I think this is one of the hardest ways to get to that information, so we're going to skip it. We're going to go back to when it's a really easy, straightforward method to get to that information. At the very, very bottom under my new agent button, there is an easy way for you guys to go in to schedule conference rooms. For those of you who've not yet taken advantage of them, we have 5 different conference rooms in our office. We also have 2 different focus rooms. So depending on what you guys may be looking to use the room for, there's probably a space best suited for you. If you guys are meeting with other agents, if you're meeting with clients, if you guys are meeting with your coach, conference rooms are great spaces because it's private. It gives you guys that separation, that's privacy. Sorry, I need like water or something. I'll get it later though. But after that though, no. Are you gonna be so nice and like go get me? Oh my gosh, please do not worry about that. I will be okay. Rex, you are the sweetest person in the world. Connie, I totally get it. I totally get why he's so amazing. You're welcome. Thank you so much for that. I will be okay though. Um, so our conference rooms again are good for those private meetings that you want to have, but they are collaborative. There's more than one person, need a little bit bigger space. There's also going to be a section called focus rooms, which are going to be just independent workspaces. So right actually out this back door, sorry to those online, but out this back door, there are going to be 2 focus rooms. It's literally a single desk office space that you can reserve. So if it's just you by your lonesome, but you want to do some lead gen and you don't want to get easily distracted, that's a nice space that you can reserve. We let you guys use all of these rooms for 2 hours or less at a time. And the reason is just so that they are on rotation for other people to use so that they can be available regularly. But these conference rooms are free. Same with the focus rooms. So if you guys are just looking for that workspace that you might need while you're here, you are welcome to have it. And we encourage you guys to take advantage of those resources because that's why we have them. The other thing I do get asked pretty often is if the focus rooms are not available, where's a good spot for me to set up shop? Just because, again, obviously, a lot of our office spaces are currently rented. So my answer to that question is always the hub is a fantastic spot for you guys. You'll see lots of agents will use that space for the same reason. The Tech Lounge just beyond that is also a great space, sometimes a little bit more quiet maybe than the hub itself, but they are adjacent to each other. So either of those spaces is perfectly appropriate. The other thing is if you know that this room is not going to be used for the day or for the hour that you might be passing through, you guys are welcome to be in the training room if you need just a little bit, again, of separation where you can kind of focus and do what you got to do. This is a great spot as well. So just be aware. And if you're not sure if the training room is going to be used, just ask me. I can tell you. Otherwise, when it comes to booking these conference rooms, it is super simple. All you guys have to do is click where it says register. This will allow you to make a quick account on skeda.com that just manages all of the bookings for our conference rooms. If you click register, it's going to let you make that account. And then once you've done that, it will open up where you can actually see it's almost like an Excel spreadsheet. You can see all across the top, all the names of the conference rooms, the capacity they hold. Down the side, you'll see all the times. And then you're also going to see all the actual reservations. You can just drag and drop yours in between any of those as well. If you experience any difficulty making a conference room reservation, I am an admin on the page, so I can go right in on the back side and I can take care of things for you. So just keep aware that I am also available to assist with anything you might need with that. Otherwise, I am just going to take us now back to the home page. So that way we can take a deeper dive beyond just that new agent button. And I promise we do pick up speed as we go. The home page usually takes the longest, but then we'll get faster. On the home page, we are also still seeing, this is going to be a wonderful reminder again of the leadership team members you have just met, several of which you'll still get to chance to meet later this week for orientation week. Eventually you will come across 2 fantastic videos that we've actually kept pinned right here on the front page, just because we feel that they are very helpful to you guys as new agents. Leah has created these videos herself. She is one of our tech coordinators, specifically specializing in marketing. But she has these 2 videos. The bottom of the 2, I actually would recommend watching first. And that's just going to explain to you guys how your Command and your DocuSign accounts link together. So it's going to make sure that you guys have your accounts talking to each other. That way your forms are populating where they're supposed to. They're then showing up in Command like you want them to. And it's just making the workflow a lot more efficient. So if you can, I would encourage you to watch that video because it should walk you through everything you need. Because fun fact, your DocuSign and your Command accounts do not necessarily come all the way set up the way you need them to. Once you have your MLS access, you're going to want to put that information into your DocuSign settings to make everything talk to itself the way you want it to be. So that's what that video will walk you guys through. It's going to make sure that everything is doing what it should be so that when you're sitting down with your first set of clients, you don't get into DocuSign like, oh my gosh, where are my forms? we're going to save you that headache. We're going to save you that headache. We're going to get ahead of it. But that's going to be a good video to watch. Just above that is actually how to submit a commission request through KW Command. This is one that I don't expect us to need right away, but when you guys are working with your first set of clients and you go under contract, we ask that you submit a commission request so that we can understand that you've got an expected closing, so that we can also be prepared to process that check. We can be ready to approve of your files and look at your documents along the way. So when you go under contract, that is when we ask you to submit the commission request. The top video there will outline how to do that so that Lynn, as she mentioned, the one who will pay you guys, she can be ready to do that for you. We definitely want to make sure that we are not holding on to your money any longer than you want us to be. Alrighty. And again, if you guys forget where those videos are located, you're welcome to ask. But if you scroll through, you may watch them now, and you can also always come back to them whenever you feel like you need the refresher or what have you. Below, though, we do come across our office calendar. My recommendation to get here, the easiest way to get here is actually just by clicking office calendar up top. It will drag you down to that section of the page so that you don't have to do all that scrolling. And I'm gonna be completely honest, I'm not a big fan of this widget that shows up as it would be referred to as. I don't love it. I think it is chopped off. It is hard to read. Why can I only see part of one event every day? That makes me sad. So I like to go above that, and I like to click the full calendar view in the text above that. It will now open up for me when I click on that to the actual Google Calendar. So you can see right away that I'm looking already at a lot more information than I could see before. So this, I think, is just much more helpful to see, especially at a glance, guys. But this way you can click on any particular day. You can see a list of the events going on. If you're interested in one, say, okay, let's go ahead and click on that. You'll get the full description associated with that class as well. So you already know if that's something you'd like to participate in. If it is something that piques your interest, whether personally or professionally, you can absolutely join us for that, as it is really rare to find something that's invitation only on the calendar. Almost everything will be open to all agents. So if you're interested in what you see, all you have to do is read through the description. If there is registration necessary for that event, you will always find that there will be a registration link featured in the details. Right here, it just says register now, but if I click on that, it takes you to that link. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. 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 So the listing mastermind, I don't believe requires registration. That I do think it does say June because it was set up in June and it's just the recurring detail. So thank you for that, because I will go in and fix that part. But yeah, so no registration required for the listing mastermind. You guys can just come on in for that. So it should say, just double checking myself here, no registration necessary there. So you guys can just come on in. Mm-hmm. Don't you worry. And plus, there is so much information that you guys are receiving, that you guys are actively taking in. I'm never offended at all. I just want to make sure that you guys always know what's going on and I can help you along the way. So I'm just glad that we took a look at that. So I apologize for the June 23rd glitch on that, guys. But yes, that is a recurring meeting. Otherwise, it is the first Monday of every month. Estella, you had a question? So this one is going to be in person only. So it should also mention to you guys in those details if it is in person. This one says offered exclusively in person. If it is ever something you guys can do online, you will always find a Zoom link featured, or a Google Meet link, or whatever that online link is will always be in the calendar description. That way you don't have to go chasing down that information. It'll be right there, so you know that's an option from the get-go. Again, Listings Mastermind being an example of an in-person, no registration necessary example of an event on our calendar. I also will point out what's a good one where we do have the registration. Oh, I know. And so December 3rd, there's a big event that we're bringing in, just an FYI in case you guys want to be part of it. That one you'll see again. Registration is required in person only, but it'll specify that registration link in the description details. So that way, again, hopefully it is a one-stop shop for you guys. And you are able to identify the trainings you want to participate in and then figure out what the best way to attend them would be for your current schedule based off of what's offered. Hopefully making it very easy, and questions are normal. So if you have any, just ask them as you see different events. Feel free to call me, walk down to my office, shoot me an email, whatever you may have. Did you have another question for me? Yeah. So December 3rd, I'm clicking on the Redefine Your Wealth, Build Freedom with Mark King. That's going to be the special event that we're bringing on December 3rd. You're very welcome. So again, guys, just start kind of exploring the next few weeks. I do get the question often, do I have to complete all 20 sessions of Ignite before I can do any other training? The answer is no. You guys are welcome to, hey, for example, I'm going to come in on, say, Monday next week. I'm going to be here from 9 to noon. But then I want to attend the mastermind that's happening from 1 to 2 o'clock afterwards. You're welcome to do that. You don't have to do only Ignite and only Ignite until you've completed everything. You guys can easily do Ignite in congruence with other trainings. And if you guys are seeing anything on here again that you just have questions about, feel free to ask me because I'm happy to help you. But I would definitely encourage, if all things, this orientation week and Ignite for you guys as brand new agents, on top of your coaching and your transaction partner meetings, we'll talk about that here shortly. Those would be the biggest and best things for you to be involved in right out the gate. So that's where our calendar is. If you guys are big fans of staying organized, we like Google Calendar. We love Google Calendar. We want to see it all the time. On the bottom left, there is a add to Google Calendar button in the bottom, and it is blue. If you click on that, it will actually copy our entire calendar directly onto yours. So it can make it much easier than having to go back to KWB resources and find where the calendar is, because you could just pop into your own Google Calendar. So it's bottom left-hand corner. It's going to say add to Google Calendar in blue. I'm going to close out of that. If anyone needs me to return to it, please say so. Otherwise, though, as we scroll underneath our calendar, now that we're just looking back at it on the homepage, we're highlighting some of those upcoming events, things that recur typically on the calendar, so you'll see them often. ALC meetings are one of those. They happen on the third Tuesday of every month at 11 o'clock. Our Agent Leadership Council, or ALC, gets together, and they actually will sit down to have some higher level business conversations and masterminds, but they're also making decisions on behalf of the future of Valentine. So we like to, when making large decisions, not only take into account our leadership team opinions, we also talk to our investors, of course. And then after that, we still bring those conversations to the ALC because we want your voices as the agents to be heard. And your ALC are kind of your representative voices. So they're going to be able to speak from an agent perspective on what they feel in regards to that particular topic. So lots of great conversation happens in those meetings. If you would like to attend and be aware of the decisions that they're making, the conversations they're having, you are welcome to do so. These are offered in person only, so you guys would have to be here physically in the office. The only thing is that we just ask you let the ALC hold the floor, and you guys would strictly be observing those meetings. Otherwise, team meetings, very different energy. Second and fourth Tuesday of the month. Those are going to be also at 11 o'clock. High energy. This room honestly fills out. So we have a lot of fun in those conversations. We're talking about different upcoming events. We're highlighting different individuals on the team to get updates from the tech side of things, the big side of things. We're also going to be bringing in vendor partners for that so you guys can get introduced. And above all else, we want to make sure that this meeting has lots of value for you guys as agents. If you're giving us an hour of your time, we want to make sure it's well worth your while. So with that, we bring in different agent panels. We have special guest speakers. So we do try to make sure that these meetings are high energy, lots of fun, and lots of value. And again, once you leave the meetings, you will have the opportunity to stop into the hub area and meet a lot of those different vendor partners that we've got. So again, if you guys are looking to make those connections because you don't yet have vendors you'd like to use, this is a very easy way to get acquainted with them. Other than that, Tech Tuesdays, those are offered every single Tuesday afternoon from 1 to 2. And those are going to be in person or online. Team meetings are also in person or online, just as an FYI. But the Tech Tuesday focus is specifically on how to navigate Command and DocuSign. So again, once you guys have initially logged in, you figured out like 1 or 2 little steps, and now you're ready to start building on that. That's when those Tech Tuesdays are going to be very, very helpful, because they're going to teach you, again, mostly the basics, but building a step further than just like, don't go into the class if you've never logged into Command. Just at least log in, and then you're ready for the next step. But Jenna's going to come in and she's going to share with you guys from an admin perspective how to use these tools at a high level, so that way you understand how they can help you guys in your business. But again, DocuSign and Command specific focuses. She'll rotate through her topics every single month. And then we also have our BIC and BIC associates. So Sabra Romeo is the BIC of this brokerage here. We also have Tasha Viney, who is our BIC associate. So Sabra is fantastic. And some of us I know got the opportunity to meet her at our inspirational breakfast. And she is not physically in the office as often as we'd love for her to be. So I do always like to make sure that you guys know Sabra is easily accessible through email and phone if you do have questions come up. You're just not going to run into her in the halls very often. She actually is at home. She takes care of her mother, who is 102. I know. Is that not crazy? Is that the genes in that family are crazy? But no, they are 102. She's 102, and then I think Sabra is in her 80s, and she is just the sweetest woman in the world, and you guys will love her. She is fantastic, so patient and so kind, as is Tasha, who is equally knowledgeable and available in this office 3 days a week. So if you guys do have questions come up, especially more administrative, like less time sensitive, not legal situations, I would suggest going to Tasha first. When it is that legal hair on fire, everything in my transaction just fell apart, go straight to Sabra. You are welcome to do that. But Tasha is able to help field a lot of those questions as well. And Estella, did you have a question?
I know the ALC meeting is at 11 a.m.
Yes.
At 9.
Nope. So great question. So on certain days, mainly those Tuesdays when we have ALC and team meeting overlaps, you actually technically will end your Ignite class an hour early that day. Because really the way Ignite is structured, it's 9 to 11. You guys are learning. 11 to 12 is still part of the session, and what we would encourage you guys to stay for to get full credit for attending. 11 to 12 though is application. It's hands-on practice where you guys are getting to lead generate and workshop some of the skills you just learned. But the first 2 hours are really more of that instructionary period. So on the Tuesdays, for example, when we're doing ALC and team meetings, just to make sure you guys, again, have a good taste for what's going on in Valentine, we'll stop you guys at 11. We'll bring in the rest of everybody else who is coming in for that team meeting. On top, you guys already have your spots. You'll get prime real estate for that team meeting. But then we'll come in and we'll join you guys. You'll be able to witness the team meeting, knock that off your list, and the Ignite session in the same go. So we'll cut early for a couple of those sessions, but I think really it's just Tuesdays that we do that for. But great question. Thank you. If you guys are looking for Tasha's office hours, they are going to be listed here. She is in the very back hallway on this side of the office. So if you guys were to cut straight back, everybody has a sticker on their window that tells you who they are. And her door, just like the other leadership team members, will always be open anytime she's available for questions. So be aware. And I know we're nowhere near June, but for those of us who are already kind of thinking renewal, or we are wondering like, what are my requirements for CE? You guys can find a lot of that information here in these wonderful handouts. You just click on the item that's interesting to you or that you might need. I will tell you, if you are South Carolina licensed, getting to be North Carolina licensed, there's some good information about the reciprocity for that here. But again, that's south to north. So if you're wondering north to south, you're welcome to ask Tasha. You might even be able to ask a few other agents in the office as well. Below that, you're going to see who is currently serving on our ALC. So you'll get to meet some of those wonderful agents here. It will tell you their names, the committee that they're currently serving, or what their specific focus is for the year, and how they're voluntarily offering their times, and then also their contact information. So if you are interested in what any of these committees are talking about, they meet once a month, and you guys are welcome to join them for those meetings. Otherwise, they're getting together at least that other once a month time to have those larger conversations. You may come in to observe, but if you're very passionate about maybe you want to build your own passive income through profit share, you want to start adding to your downline, you guys can meet with the growth committee or the CAPR growth committee and have conversations about what that looks like, how to have those conversations and really build that and make it a focal point for your business. The culture and KW Cares, that's really the charitable piece and the warm and fuzzy feeling that you get when you talk about KW Valentine. The reason that we all feel like family comes from the heart and soul of us, which is in our culture, and the charitable arm that we offer. Social committee is all the fun events that we have to do during the year. We did our family fun day. We do some different happy hours. So that's going to be social committee. CAPR growth committee, again, is focusing on growing your downlines. Career development is specifically highlighting the trainings that we're bringing in. They're kind of curious what your feedback is as the agent of like what you love seeing, what you want to see more of, what you don't see enough of, so that we can make sure the training calendar reflects what you want to be learning. Yes. So all of these individuals would get together for the ALC meeting to have those higher level conversations. But if you were specifically, you said, oh man, I'm really passionate about the training calendar. That's what I really want to get to like understand more of. You could come in, you'll see that there's actually a specific career development committee meeting on the calendar. You could come in and just be part of that particular committee meeting, share your thoughts, share your feedback, even become part of that committee if you'd like to give some of your time in that manner. So there's a different ways you can get connected. Well, and you'll kind of get the opportunity. The ALC you'll get an opportunity to do through Ignite for sure. And then the individual committee meetings, if you guys are really interested, please, like you'll find so many of them on the calendar, mainly the first week of the month, just an FYI. And you can start plugging into those as well, make those connections. And then these agents can share a little bit more about what they've learned through their experiences. And then again, kind of partner up with you if you'd like to do more. Financial planning, again, just wealth building, guys, understanding how to help yourselves out as business owners, how to share different tidbits and opportunities that will help your clients. And that's also goes as far as tax preparation as well, because we know that's a big deal. So just be aware that these are the different agents on our ALC. You'll see them in the hallways constantly. So feel free to stop with them, say hello, introduce yourselves. Then we do see in this next section our productivity coaches. So for those of us who don't already know, if you are brand new to Keller Williams and you are joining us as a solo agent ready to pursue real estate, we do automatically put you into our coaching program just so you have the utmost support going into that first year. You have a little bit more guidance as well with that. So your coach is really going to be pivotal in helping you guys to generate business and get into production. So they're going to meet with you every single week in group settings. And I encourage, actually implore you to participate in those meetings as often as you can. But those weekly sessions, they're going to be bringing tons of great information to you. They're going to talk about what's going on in the market. They're going to talk to you guys about how to have conversations with your clients about the stats, about what's going on with the interest rates, be the source of truth and not the source of chaos, right? So they're going to actually be able to share what those scripts should look like with you guys, how to craft your listing and buyer presentation. They're going to be here to help you guys get that business off the ground and build a strong, sustainable business. So your coach is going to be fantastic to work with in that first year. And above all else, they are going to be dedicated to understanding your goals and how they can best support you in reaching them. So you'll have some one-on-one opportunity as well to really dive further into your unique business. Below that, we also have transaction partners. Transaction partners are the second pillar of mentorship we offer to brand new agents. And your transaction partner is a contracts and forms expert, whether it is for South Carolina or North Carolina, it will specify by their names here. But they are going to also meet with you guys once a week in small group settings, and they're going to go over the different contracts and forms you're using and that you guys are expected to know inside and out, because you guys obviously should know them as well as you expect your clients to know them, right? So we want you guys to be able to be that fantastic advocate where you can share a lot of the information and be a true fiduciary for them. You guys will get to be connected with one of these transaction partners. Each of them has a different weekly meeting time, just as the coaches do. So we take that into consideration when we make those assignments. We want to make sure you guys are getting connected with somebody that actually works well for your schedule, because there's nothing worse than getting a resource you'll never be able to use. So we want to make sure we avoid that with you guys. So what we do is for the transaction partners, I shoot you an email and I ask you, hey, what is the best meeting time for you on a regular basis? And that is the connection I will make take with you via email. I'll connect you and your new partner. With coaching, Michelle Amador, who oversees that program, she's going to call you just to get a little bit more intimate understanding of who you are so she can make the best recommendation amongst her coaches. With both of these, if you realize you've not yet been contacted, please let me know. More than likely, it might have just been a miscommunication early on because you guys get a lot of stuff and that's okay. And we just want to help you guys get that connection underway. So please let me know if you realize you've not yet been connected with a transaction partner or a coach, and I will gladly help make those connections for you. But rule of thumb, the more you guys can participate in those meetings, the better you will feel prior to ever sitting down with your clients. So be aware that those are going to be very pivotal for you. We also have some frequently used websites and different links at the bottom, all of which are just way easier to find at the top. So I just take us back up there because I promise, like I said, we're going to go a little bit faster with each of these because the next tab, which we look at, is going to be FAQs. If you click on that, guys, it is literally just giving you an idea of some frequently asked questions we get when you first join us. And if you hover over any of those, it will give you an idea of who on the leadership team is best equipped to answer that question. So pretty straightforward. Again, we know questions come up and we just want you guys to feel like you have an idea of who may be able to best assist you. I know that not every single question you're going to have is going to be covered by what is listed here. So if you've got something that's a little bit outside of the box and you're like, I don't know if I see it there, just reach out to me. Again, if I don't know the answer, I know somebody who does. So just let me know how I can help out. Otherwise, on-demand training, if we click on that, guys, you'll see that this is password protected. So because I've got so many of you in the room with me today, this is going to be really helpful because I actually finally don't have it blocked either. Where you see our Wi-Fi password all the way over there, I want you guys basically, before you write it down, I want you guys basically to use that password, but take the exclamation point off. So for us in the room, it is a capital B, lowercase AMC 350, stop. That's it. That's all we want. For those of us online, I'm going to repeat that one more time. The password to this page is capital B, lowercase AMC 350. And I will repeat that again by the next tab because the next tab also has the same password. So if you missed it, we will go over it one more time. But when we are on-demand training, the left-hand button, if you select on-demand, will take you to Keller Williams Valentine YouTube channel. Yay. So this is fantastic because we actually have a lot of great videos available to you guys here. You'll find in this section that we actually have organized playlists that you can see. So if you guys are looking for a specific training, maybe you guys, again, if we're feeling under the weather, we know that that happens. We also understand, isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? That used to happen in the overhead speakers in here, and it would give everybody a heart attack, like all at once. It was really not fun. So I'm glad it just happened on one computer because it's way worse when it happens on mine. But when we are looking at the KW Valentine side of things, again, guys, this is going to have some recorded trainings that you may have missed. There's going to be some great videos where not Chip, Teresa is sitting down to interview other agents in this office. So you guys can learn a little bit more from their perspective. So there's lots of great information that gets published here. Some of the morning calls that Chip does on Mondays will get posted here as well. So just lots of great information because again, life happens. So either you already got a complicated schedule and it's just challenging to make certain times work well, or maybe you've got kiddos and they're running around like crazy and you've got to go to a soccer game and then you got to do this, or you're just not feeling well one day. All of that is very possible and very real. We want you to understand we get it. Life happens. So if you cannot be in the room for something that you want to be in the room for or wanted to be in the room for, a lot of times you guys can come back to our YouTube channel here and you guys can find, again, at the bottom, we've organized these separate playlists. You guys can find the individual playlist of the class you may be looking for. These are going to be specifically recurring classes on our schedule. So different things that there just might be an update, right? So something may have changed from the last time you got that information, which is why we like to regularly post to this YouTube channel so you guys have current information. So it is not going to be every single training that we offer because we also want you guys to be able to participate live as often as possible, whether that's physically in this room or just on a live Zoom call like many of us today. That way you guys are getting information in real time. More than anything, not to inconvenience you. So you get the information in real time. And because of that, you have the opportunity to ask questions when they come up. because there's nothing worse than feeling like, okay, let me jot down this whole list of questions and I hope I run into that person in the hall tomorrow. Like, we want to make sure that you guys are getting the information when you need it. So this is kind of your backup. If you miss that time frame to get the information when you needed it, you guys can come back here and see if that's already been posted to the YouTube channel. Rule of thumb is that if you guys do not see that specific recording, you're always welcome to ask me because I might have it. It's just not necessarily posted here. But just know that not everything is recording and not everything is released once it's recorded. So this is going to be your best judge of what's out there. So if you're looking for something specific, just let me know and I can help you guys out as best I can. But that's your on-demand button. And especially on the right-hand side, we've got something very similar, the Scott Leroy version of the same. So if you click on on-demand over here, it's going to take you to the Scott Leroy Marketing YouTube channel, guys. And that way, again, just in case you need some additional tech assistance, and you might need it at an hour that is outside of 1 to 2 o'clock Tuesdays and Thursdays, that's okay. We want you guys still to get that information when you need it. So this is just supplemental. Again, if you're dual career, especially, this can be a game changer because it is sometimes hard to make those meeting times work. But also for those of us who need information in a timely manner, because we want to do those Facebook leads, but I don't know how to start that Facebook ad. I want to do a Facebook ad, but I don't know how. And I want to do it through command, but that class isn't on the schedule. You guys can come to this YouTube channel and find that information's already been posted. And then you can follow along that and get that information when you need it most. So just both of these are going to be on-demand resources available specifically to guide you guys in areas you may be looking for additional support. And those are just right here under the on-demand training, okay? Otherwise, some of those same pinned videos that we looked at, again, just located somewhere else on the page. So things we've already seen, and then just some more information about Ignite. So if you guys do want to hear a little bit more, there's a great little blurb in here. But otherwise, that's everything to be found under on-demand training. The next one, before I even take us up to it, we're not clicking on it right away. So for those of us who are following along, just hover your mouse. We are going to hover our mouse over Office Resources. We're not going to click on it. I do that specifically because several of these items that we're looking at now, I just think they're way easier to find on this in this drop-down menu than once you're inside the tab. So when we're looking at this little drop-down menu, advertising guidelines is the first thing I ever mention. It's right there at the top. This one is super helpful because again, if we are working on creating our business card, we're working on maybe we're ordering open house signs or custom signs. And I just want to make sure even the Facebook post that I'm going to do later is in compliance. Advertising guidelines is going to run you guys through all the do's and don'ts, basically. For our provisional brokers, again, as you know, your things are a little bit more strict for you guys. So you'll definitely want to make sure you understand what you can and can't do in accordance with those guidelines. But also know that you guys can always ask Tasha questions if you're looking for something specific that's just not there, or maybe you're like, this honestly made me a little more confused than giving me enough clarity. Always ask for clarification with Tasha. You are welcome to do that. But that's going to be the advertising guideline section that you can easily find. Also, by clicking on that, it will take you to, there's an option to find our logo files as well. So that way, if you guys, again, are designing anything, you can grab the KW Valentine logo and the color scheme you're looking for, and you can add it to your design really easily. So that's advertising guidelines. KW Valentine phone roster below that. If you guys are like, oh my gosh, I had so much fun in today's class. I loved everyone I met, but I didn't get anybody's contact information. Okay. You guys can find each other on the phone roster. It's great. So if you click on phone roster, it's actually going to, again, ask us for that password. I promise I'll say it out loud in a couple minutes. But when we're looking at the phone roster, guys, it's going to outline everybody on our agent roster. It's going to tell you who they are, what their phone number is, and how you can reach them through email. So it makes it really easy to identify, like, okay, here's who I met, and you can keep going. This is a live Google sheet. So anytime somebody's joining, I'll add them to this. Anytime somebody's leaving, I can take them off of it. So you know this is an accurate list. And if you guys are ever noticing that your specific contact information is out of date or incorrect on here, maybe I just made a typo, please let me know. I won't fix it in a heartbeat. I just need to know because otherwise it just looks like a lot of numbers and a lot of letters to me at first glance. So let me know if I can ever make changes to it. But this is also great for you guys because a lot of times I'm asked like, okay, Liz, if I have this one announcement I want to get out there, what's the best way for me to do it? There's a couple answers. One, you guys can always make announcements to our private Facebook group. You guys can add something there if you need more agents to contribute, whether it's, hey, I need help with this, or hey, I've got buyers who just want to offload some furniture. They're not taking it with them, but you guys can put stuff like that out there on Facebook to get attention. The other best way to communicate stuff like that on a massive scale is email blast. And the best way to do that is on our phone roster. You would just click and drag to copy and paste the emails, draft your email. My only recommendation for this is just that if you guys are to do an email blast with everybody on it, BCC everybody, because I also made that mistake when I first joined. I did not understand what BCCing in an email was. So I just put everybody on the email, and then I got somebody immediately who said, so next time, could you BCC us? Because fun fact, if you don't do that, as people respond, everybody gets those responses. So don't do that. Don't be me. You guys are better than that. It was a quick lesson to learn, but we're better now. Other than that, concession request is listed here. Concession request, guys, again, I don't think anyone's going to need this for some time, but if you guys are ever changing your commission, you're altering the commission that you should be getting according to your buyer agency, because maybe you've decided, I'm going to be super gracious and I'm going to pay for my buyer's home warranty because I am feeling very, very sweet today. So you guys can do that. And because Keller Williams is the one who is getting paid on the transaction first, and then we are then paying to you guys as the independent contractor, we need to be aware of any changes to your commission. So with that, the best way to do that is you are going to actually submit a concession request. Click on that third option there. It would take you to a Google form that is going to ask you basic questions about the transaction so that we get all the information we need. And then we can draft what's called a concession letter. It will come from the BIC or from Tasha, our BIC associate, and we'll send that over to you to approve. Basically, yes, we see what you're trying to do. We're okay with that. Change your commission. So that way you have everything you need to from a compliance standpoint. Your bases are covered. But in order to do that, we just need you guys to submit that commission or concession request. Otherwise, we'll have no idea and we'll get very confused when we see that check come in and it doesn't look the way we thought it was going to look based off of the papers we saw in your file. So concession requests are going to be pivotal in the event that you ever feel you need one. That's the best way to get one. Do not call list, something I know you guys know about from the moment you leave school. That's an important one. We want to make sure that we are not calling the wrong people, right? So because they love to make all the punishments and like the consequences so unfun, thousands of dollars, court time, it's like, wow, that sounds really terrible at the end of the day. So what I would recommend, and again, actually implore you guys to do when you leave this room is do not call us, click right on it, guys. Spend an hour of your, not an hour, just kidding. Spend a lot less than an hour. Spend a few minutes of your day. Please click on that because it's going to give you the step-by-step guide of what you guys need to do to register to access this information so that way you can be aware of who is on that list so you're not contacting the wrong person. So please, again, take time out of your day when you have free time to do that. Spend it doing these step-by-steps. If you have questions on it or difficulty, Tasha, again, great point of contact. But this way you guys can make sure, again, all bases are covered. I don't want anyone going to real estate jail, not this early in the game. That's not fun. The other thing is, now that we've kind of covered those top items, I am going to actually click on office resources at this point. It's going to prompt me for that password again. So this is just my chance to say it out loud one more time for you guys. It is going to be capital B, lowercase a, MC 350. That gets us into that tab. The reason I'm comfortable clicking on it now is because those other items at the very bottom there, they're just easy to be found on this page once we're in it. I think that sometimes, again, just harder to find on the page. So I like to do it from the drop-down menu. So here, because I know most often agents are North Carolina licensed when they join, I tend to look at the left-hand button here. If you see general forms and hit get forms, this is going to take you to the Google Drive folder that Sabra's put together of all the Keller Williams Ballantyne specific North Carolina forms. So if you guys are realizing you are being asked for a specific form and it is not showing up in DocuSign, you can always come back to this Google Drive folder and check it to see if there is information in here you're looking for. These are going to be forms that Sabra was asked for regularly. And she felt like, man, I just wish I didn't have to hold up people because they were waiting for this document and then I got to get it back to them when I have time. So she just put them all out there at your disposal. You're going to find W-9s are going to be probably the most common thing I get asked for. W-9, so that if you guys are working referrals and you need that W-9 or the referral agreement even, those live right here in this folder. Working with real estate agents lives right here in this folder. You guys will find also some disclosures about our partnerships. You'll find different addendums. You'll find firm exclusive information. We've got, let's see, we've got septic and sewer in here. You'll find that Sabra asks for that quite often. We've also got information about utilities. And you'll find, again, just lots and lots of different, like I said already, referral agreements, lots and lots of different information in here. There's actually a good couple handouts as well that give you great visuals. This one is final from walk-in to final walk-through. This one is understanding dual agency and what that even means and the different capacities you can serve as a dual agent. So just be aware that all these forms are in this folder, guys. Again, this is my North Carolina specific side of things. For those of us who are South Carolina licensed, you're just going to do the exact same thing on the right-hand side and find those exact same forms for South Carolina over here. The reason, again, I point this out is because sometimes you will find, again, if you're starting in DocuSign, something might not be there that you're looking for. And the answer of where to find it is this Google Drive folder. If you start in this Google Drive folder and you cannot find what you're looking for, the answer is to check your DocuSign. Between the two, you guys should always have what you need. This is just going to be predominantly firm-specific forms that are on our Google Drive folder, in our Google Drive folder. So yes, you can. It is just going to ask you. So you're just going to want to make sure, because I think it says, remember to download the forms as a PDF. Do not save them in the folder, obviously. The only thing is that some of them, I was going to say, some of them are going to be marked with samples. So just be careful because most of them are not like that, I don't think. These are just going to be specific sample documents, which again, I believe you can find the actual document then in your DocuSign folder without that watermark over it. But because I am not an agent, I can only find so much information myself. So if I'm mistaken in that, talk to other agents and they'll be able to tell you where it is, but should be in your DocuSign as I understand it. But that's going to be, again, the Google Drive folder for you guys. In the middle, under Office Checklist, if you select that option, this is going to take you just to another Google Drive folder. And this one specifically is just going to detail, actually, these are really cool because Sabra made them. But these are checklists that are going to highlight what you are responsible for as the agent in either North or South Carolina, buyer or seller side, doesn't matter. These are all going to outline specifically your tasks depending on what side of the deal you're on and what state, what tasks you have as the agent, what timeline is associated with that task, and you can actually sit there and physically check off if you've completed that task or not. So this can be really helpful because we know, especially in the first few transactions, it is not muscle memory. So we want you guys still to have the utmost confidence going into these conversations. So if this makes all the difference to you is just having this little checklist that says, yes, I got all my ducks in a row and I didn't miss anything, then this is where you can find the items just like that. So again, Sabra's put these together herself based off of whatever state and whatever side you may be representing. So you'll find lots of good information in here. Feel free to print them off, guys. Again, you're welcome to do that here. You're welcome to do that at home. You can actually follow along with them. My only joking recommendation is maybe don't let your client see that you have the checklist, but have it in the back of your folder. Check it on the steering wheel of your car as soon as you get back in. It'll be good. But yes, you can find lots of good information right here on the page. And then a little bit further, this one's related in a way. I don't always know why it's just slammed in the middle of here, but I did not make the website. I just explain the website. So while we're looking at this, next is CE Shop. So CE Shop is actually going to be chock full of great resources as well for you guys. They are a real estate education source. So I know a lot of times one of the things I get asked, because a lot of us need either post licensing or we for sure will eventually need continuing education. So for those of you who have contemplated, okay, how am I going to get my post licensing? How am I going to get my continuing ed when the time comes? We have different resources available to you. We actually partner with different real estate education sources so that you guys can get discounts as well while getting those credits taken care of. So CE Shop is going to be one of those partnerships we have. If you click on Find Classes, it's actually going to take you to our dual branded website with the CE Shop. There's a couple reasons I like to show this to you guys specifically. For those of you who don't know, CE Shop again offers all those additional education courses you may be looking for beyond just North and South Carolina. I know Superior is North Carolina, but you can find all different states under CE Shop, which is cool. I like to point this out as well because they are specifically going to focus on self-paced education. So if you guys are big into the, I want to do it online, I want to do it at a time that works well for me because I've got plenty of other responsibilities and just no time to commit to a hard, this is your class time parameter. This could be a good fit for you. The cool thing is, I know that for self-paced learning, it's either I did really, really well with it because I'm just built for this, or like I am absolutely not built for self-paced and I hated it. I feel like I hear the two extremes. I don't tend to see a lot of people are like, it's all right. So if you are interested in self-paced because you kind of thought about it, but you're not sure if that's going to be the best fit for you, you guys actually have a way using the orange button here to create or start a free trial. So you guys can actually check out self-paced learning for about 1 whole week before you ever even provide your credit card information. So if you hate it, you said this is awful, you get to walk away, no consequences to you. If you love it, you can just drop in your credit card information to continue the course. But this way you just have the option to kind of explore it without having to commit to it fully. So again, that's where you can do a free trial for self-paced learning. Yes, ma'am. So I am under Office Resources, and I just scroll down and I hit Find Classes where it says CE Shop. So you should have the password for the Office Resources website. So it's capital B, lowercase AMC 350. You can ignore that exclamation point you're looking at. Yep. And that should let you see the tab and then all the stuff in there. Of course you have the password. What fun is it to not have the password? But so that's where you guys can do a free trial. If you keep scrolling down, just be aware that the CE Shop is always doing discounts on their education opportunities. It's just a matter of what that discount looks like because they fluctuate. So if you guys are looking for something, especially if you're looking for self-paced, they have great deals they're always running. I'll give you like a little pointer. I get firsthand notification when these discounts are coming up, especially for like flash 1 day sales that you guys can take advantage of. They love to run flash 1 day sales on Wednesdays. And I will always post about what that flash 1 day sale is at 8 o'clock in the morning. That Wednesday it goes live. So you guys can take advantage all day that day using that information. You can find it if you happen to be on their website too. But if you're specifically like, oh, I got to get a class done, but like I'm going to wait until there's a good deal. This way you guys can know when those deals are live without having to like stalk their website. So I will always keep you guys in the loop on those. And then the other thing I would like to point out to you guys is if we continue to scroll all the way to the bottom, it used to never be down here. It was at the top. So now I look crazy. But when we are looking at the very bottom and super, super, super fine print, there's this little section, the third one from the right, from the left. It's going to say Agent Essentials. Under Agent Essentials, one of the items closest to the bottom is going to say Hot Topics. If you guys click on Hot Topics, it actually takes you to like a little library of ebooks, blogs, podcasts, and videos. And I specifically point this out to you guys because I know, again, one, you guys are always looking for different ways to grow your own knowledge and your own expertise. So there's going to be lots of information out here that may be helpful to you as the agent. The other reason I point this out is in concern to your marketing. I know that I am not your marketing expert. That's Jules and Leah. Please do not ask me too many marketing questions. Jules and Leah are going to be the best resource for you when it comes to marketing strategy. But what I have picked up from Jules and Leah is two very basic things, not very exciting. I have only listened to them so hard, though. You guys listen way harder than I do. But no, the two biggest things that I picked up on is one, it is incredibly important for you guys to be posting regularly. If you plan on doing social media marketing, you guys need to be posting regularly. Doesn't necessarily need to be every day, but it should be just about every other day, pretty close to twice a week at least. So you guys should be posting often. You guys also should be posting different content, diversifying what you're sharing, because if you're sharing basically the same information over and over and over again because it's filler content for you, eventually the algorithms of social media are smart enough now. They're going to say, nobody cared about that yesterday. They're not going to care about it today. They're going to keep people from seeing it because it's the same thing that they think not enough people have already interacted with. So one of the biggest things I know as a result is you, of course, have to generate fresh content regularly. That's kind of difficult. And you want to make sure it's different, which is also just a different challenge in and of itself. So if you guys do plan on doing a lot of social media marketing and you ever feel like you're struggling to hit that threshold of the original content regularly, use things like this. Take these links, post them to your Facebook, and call that good. This can be your easy button for the day where you guys are posting something different. You haven't posted it before. It's directing new traffic to your page, and it satisfies the requirement of, hey, I posted something real estate related, but it wasn't the same thing as yesterday. So keep this in mind. Again, no requirement to do this, but if you feel like it is a big part of your plan to do social media marketing, you're struggling one day to come up with the content, this can be your kind of cheat code or easy button for the day. So be aware that that lives in the CE shop. Again, we went to their website. We scrolled all the way to the bottom. We found hot topics. It never used to be that challenging, I promise. There is also, when we get back to our office resources page, there's a spot here where you guys can download the Ballantyne floor plan. I've never once had anybody ever ask me for that information, so I doubt you will be the first, but if you are, congratulations, because you will be the first. So underneath that, though, we are going to come across some different numbers to know. These are different pieces of information. I swear to you, you will not be asked for it often enough to memorize it. But you will probably want to have it at least a few times. So if you are looking for things like our federal tax ID, because yes, you're working in active referral, you guys can find information like that here. So our tax ID, you guys can find our firm license numbers, because if you're getting your South Carolina license after being North Carolina licensed, they do things backwards, by the way. You guys will be asked to give your firm number for South Carolina to prove that you're here before they ever even give you a license number, which is crazy. And if you guys need that number, it's right here. So you guys can find where a lot of this information will live on our website. Again, I don't expect you guys to need this frequently enough to memorize it. I also will not be offended if, because you're not asked for it often, that you forget where it is. So if you forget where it is, just ask me. I'll tell you right where it is. Otherwise, just to prove a point real quick, if I click on office calendar, no matter where I am, it will take me to that section of the page like we talked about. The More tab, this is a scary amount of things in a drop-down menu, I know. It used to be divided into several different tabs at the top. We just got a little crowded up there. So what I will tell you is a lot of this stuff we've actually already looked at. So again, it's just kind of tying things into more convenient locations for you guys. But a lot of this is tech resources towards the top that we've talked about, or you guys can look at separately in your own time. But below that, you guys are going to find that there is a section for ALC meeting minutes. We talked about how those ALC meetings are only in person. But if you guys miss one of them, but you're like, oh gosh, but I know that they were going to be voting on something really important. I really hope I know what they decided. You guys can always go back. So because they're offered in person only, we actually document their meeting minutes. So this way you can go back and review the conversations that were had, figure out what you would have missed, even though it wasn't something that was offered as a recorded training. There's also a prayer request form, and this for us is more of a talking point than anything else, but it's very sincere and near and dear to our hearts, where we really just want you guys to know that we consider you a real part of our family from the moment you walk in the door. Yes, ma'am.
I don't know, but it gives me the minutes from 2024.
Thank you. I'll make sure that I've got the updated link in there, because that might be an outdated link. Thank you. So the prayer request form, again, more of a talking point, just to make sure you guys understand that very sincerely you are considered a part of this family from the moment you walk in the door. So if you guys are ever going through anything or facing anything, please just keep us aware as much as you feel comfortable, because we want to be there to support you guys, whether that's through KW Cares, which is our charitable arm that you guys may or may not have heard of already. Hopefully you hear lots more about it. Whether that's through KW Cares contributions, whether that is through just coming in, saying, saying, how are you? Giving you hugs in the hallway or praying on your behalf. Whatever we can do for you guys as a team, we would love to do for you as best we can. So letting us know what's going on so that we can show up in those ways and be that supportive group for you, that family, we want to. So keep us aware as much as you can just so we can do that. And also, if you are comfortable with it and you believe in the power of prayer, the bigger the better. If you guys would like us to ever open up those conversations and tell everybody in the market center so that you guys can receive more prayer power, let us know. We'll do that too. We just got to know that's something you want us to do. We do not want to broadcast your business otherwise, okay? Just for clarity, I'm not just blowing things out there for everybody. But yes, please, you guys are our family and we are here to support you. That should, so it doesn't do that for you? Okay. You're not under a KW email? I wonder if it's because it thinks you need to be part of the organization, maybe? That might be it. I will check the settings on that though later, just to make sure that that's not causing you any issues. And then Lynn will have the ALC meeting link though, so I'll work with her on that. Otherwise, KW perks, that's insurance related. So if you guys are exploring insurance at all, now that you're officially independent contractors, so sorry, no more insurance through your employers. Don't hate me. If you guys would like to explore the insurance options, you guys can now shop Marketplace at a discounted rate. Just click on KW perks, plug in some info about you and your household, and then you can see some of the insurance plan options that may be beneficial to you. Even if you honestly do have insurance, you never know what might be out there. Underneath though, scheduling a conference room, I know we talked about that at the very beginning, but if you guys just click on that, it will take you to the section of the page that you want to be on to make that account. So again, just an easier way to get to some of that same information. KWB firm exclusive listings. I expect this to be obsolete at some point, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. It should be integrated into commands. But for the time being, one of the things you guys can do as an agent is when you take a listing, you can actually say, hey, I don't want to put this in MLS. I actually just want it to be offered to people in my brokerage. You can do that for the entirety of having that listing. You guys can do that for just a certain amount of time. We've seen it lots of different ways. So talk to other agents if you're interested in that, by the way. But there is specific forms that you must submit to us to let us know you're taking a firm exclusive listing. So when you submit that documentation and Sabre knows that you're doing that, she'll add your listing to this live Google Sheet. So that way all the agents in our office can be aware that you guys have this listing. So if it meets their buyer's criteria, they can easily find it, find your information, get in touch with you, just making it much, much easier. The other cool thing about the firm exclusive listings, again, with it just being a live Google Sheet, is that if you guys are ever working with your own set of buyers and you're struggling to find something that matches their criteria out there in MLS, don't be afraid. Things that are offered to you as firm exclusive are not going to show up in MLS. So you guys have just this secondary resource you can check. I cannot promise it is going to make all the difference in the world, but you guys never know. You might be able to click right on that. And then lo and behold, there's the thing that your clients have been looking for. Just wasn't an MLS. So be aware that that is out there in case you guys are ever in that situation. Strategic vendor partners. Again, if you are not my Facebook users, that's okay. If you click on strategic vendor partners in that drop down menu, it takes you to our vendor sheet or our vendor spreadsheet here. It's tracking all of the preferred vendor partners in our vendor program. It's organizing them by their industry. It's telling you who our direct representative or point of contact is with this company, the company they're with, the contact information for that individual, the services they offer, and any websites associated with their business. So this way you guys have at a one-stop shop, hopefully all the information that you need related to that individual. It's also really easy because it's organized by industry for you guys to pull multiple quotes because we know that the rule of three for your clients. But this way you guys can easily just say, okay, great. So there's two, I'm looking at transaction coordinators. I'm finally ready to leverage that. Great. There's two right there on that list. So I can start with them, just see what their price point is. And if I'm not happy with that, I'll talk to other agents and see if they've got something better that I could look at. That easy. But this way, again, vetted by other agents in the office. So you know it's somebody that you guys can trust already based off of the services they've done for other agents in the office or their clients. Another thing I would mention while we're looking at this, guys, It's just that you're going to see that there's a couple sections that are sparse. We'll call sparse. Some of them are maybe completely empty, but we're going to call it sparse. If you guys are looking at that and you're like, construction, there is nobody. It's not that we hate construction workers, if you can believe it. It's actually that we would love to have more of that in our vendor program. So if you guys are looking for a particular vendor or looking at a particular section and realizing that we just don't have a lot of people in that part of the program, all you have to do is say, hey, I have a very good personal friend that does this. I have a personal landscaper that does my yard or what have you. Any connection that you guys have to somebody that you think does a fantastic job, you are a KW Valentine agent. You can vet this person. So if you would like to make the recommendation for them to join our vendor program, it's super easily done. If they're interested in learning more, you guys just have to connect this individual, whoever it may be, with Kyrie Smith, who is currently overseeing our vendor program. He's our vendor liaison. Connect them via email, and then Kyrie will do all the legwork. He'll actually come in, he'll meet with them, give them a tour of the office, talk to them about all the details of our vendor program. That way, you guys don't have to know all of this. You can just make that initial connection, and Kyrie can take over where it's a little bit more of his wheelhouse. So, to make that connection via email, it's very easily done, guys. There's actually business cards for Kyrie right at the front desk. There's a little business card holder. He's got business cards in there. You just look for the one that says Kyrie and introduce them via email. He'll do the rest. So it's great. So keep that in mind as you guys start to work with other vendor partners that you really learn to love. Let us know, because we'd love for it to be a win-win, because there's a lot of value that they can take away from the program. And as can you guys as the agents benefit from them being part of it as well. Otherwise, Outfront Magazine, again, if you guys are looking for an easy button for social media, you're struggling to come up with content, Outfront Magazine, just like magazines do, they publish every single month, but instead of an actual magazine, they're giving you guys a calendar, a literal calendar of content that you can share throughout the month. So I'm again, not an agent, so I've never actually looked at this 100% myself. I cannot promise you that this content is like copy and paste worthy and just whoop, done, or if it's like more a prompt that gets you to think and then generate your own. Can't promise that it's one versus the other, but either way, it's better than having absolutely nothing to start with. So if you need something to help you guys along the way when it comes to social media, that's going to have some fantastic suggestions of what to post during the month. And then lastly, discount codes for real estate education. You're fine. If you click on discount codes for real estate education, it's just going to take you to an easier spot where you can again get back to the CE shop to access that discount code. But also we partner with Superior. Again, that's North Carolina, I know, and it's in person or online, which is great. Just depends on what you guys are looking for. But with Superior, rather than fluctuating our discounts, we offer 30%, or they offer 30% to you guys all the time. So whether that's pre, post, or continuing ed, you guys can take advantage of that 30%. The other thing I like you to be aware of is not only is this something for you to benefit from as the agent in our office, but this is also something that you guys can share with others, if nothing else, just to bless them, because that's a fantastic feeling and a fantastic gesture. And what I would say with that too is, while that is it's a powerful tool just to build relationship with somebody and to help them on their journey. But the most important thing to know just with that, if you choose to share it, there's no requirement for this person to then join Keller Williams Valentine. So truly, if you just want to make their day, you're welcome to share the pre-licensing code, help them get into real estate. Or if you know they're going through hard times and they're just had a really hard year, maybe they're already practicing real estate somewhere else, you guys can still share a discount code with them just so they can get cheaper education to continue on with something they're passionate about. So whatever you guys may want to use that for, I leave to you, but I wanted you to know you have the power to share it as well. Booking call time shifts up at the top here in white. If you guys are interested in call time, you've noticed that up at the front desk by Miss Sue, there is sometimes another agent sitting up there hanging out with her. We offer what's called call time shifts. There are 3 shifts a day, 3 hours at a time. And you guys are welcome to come in. You can hang out with Miss Sue up front, and you guys can take inbound leads that are coming into KW Valentine and make them yours. The other really cool thing about that is it just, of course, helps you guys get to be more familiar with the office, with the functionality, build some other relationships with agents, just because you get a good wherewithal of where things are here. If you guys are interested in call time, though, Sue is always looking for new friends and for help. So if you guys want to hang out with her and actually get to experience it for yourselves, it's a really cool opportunity for new agents, especially. And again, you guys can kind of dictate what shifts work best for your schedule. So if you're interested, there's an easy way to book those actual shifts, clicking on the white button up there. It'll take you to the Google Calendar where you can reserve your specific shift that you're looking at. But if you guys would like, Sue also teaches a class once a month in person and online. It is a 30-minute class, so it's not even like excruciatingly long like this one. I'm just kidding. Unless you agree with that. But so Sue, though, she is going to teach you guys all about the basics of call time in that class, so you guys know what you need to know before you show up for the first shift. You just feel way better about it. If you guys are interested in doing that class, it happens to be today, just a FYI. She's going to do it from 12:30 to 1 today. It would be held right here in the training room where she'll get back with you guys for that 30 minutes. But if you'd prefer to do it online because you're like, got something I got to go do this afternoon, you can hop on a Zoom session easily. Just find it on the calendar for today. Click on the details. The Zoom link is going to be right there in those details. And she'll just be on the mic like I am right now. And you guys will hear her through Zoom. But she'll be able to go over the basics with you. I would highly recommend it since it is a once a month opportunity that you guys snag it while it's happening today. Other than that, to the right, you're going to find there's a marketing help button and a tech help button. So if you guys are interested in meeting with Jules and Leah to get some hands-on marketing support and coaching opportunity, they can speak to you guys a lot about the marketing strategies and make them unique to your business based off of what you like, what you're interested in, what you're envisioning for yourselves. All you have to do is click on marketing help and it will let you book your time either in person on the left or virtually on the right, but you guys will be able to be taken straight to their calendar to find a session time that would work best for you. And again, these conversations stay unique to your business. The great thing about Jules and Leah, though, is they'll grow with you. So not only can they teach you how to do these things for free, but they also can be your source of leverage. So if you guys are interested at all, you need to either save the time or just the headache later on. You guys do have the ability to pay Jules and Leah just to do some of this marketing for you. They have a whole list of services they could show to you so that you understand how they can help fill in the gaps for you. But again, fantastic marketing strategy coming from Jules and Leah. They will teach also, again, just a reminder, they teach every single Thursday in this office from 12:30 to 1:30. So you guys have the ability to hop into those workshop style classes and learn hands-on. But if it's, again, a unique conversation to your business, you're welcome to schedule the one-on-one. And then lastly, that tech help button, very similarly, you guys can book a 30-minute appointment in person or online with Rob Miller, our tech coordinator of this office. He's going to go over the KW side of things with you, KW technology, i.e. Command, DocuSign. So as you guys are working through navigating that information initially, and you might have some additional questions, you've gone through some Tech Tuesdays and that's been great, but you still got some questions. That's okay. You guys are welcome to book 30 minutes with Rob Miller. Again, he can have these meetings with you guys in person or online. He even has an 11:30 today. If anyone's like dying to meet with him, you can click on it. Yep.
My website to be able to switch French to English.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw there's a website like that in Montreal.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Is that a
Yeah, so you can absolutely reach out to Rob. And then when you actually are going to book your meeting, just so you can see it, it's going to ask you for details pertaining to that meeting in the bottom. So you can even say, like, hey, show me, I'm looking to make sure my website can be in 2 languages. And then that way, if it's something he didn't already know at the top of his brain, he can have materials ready to go that will help you guys in that meeting so you make the most of your time together. But yeah, definitely Rob for that one. If not, Jules, if he says that it's out of his wheelhouse for any reason, I know Jules and Leah know a lot of stuff like that too. But the other thing, again, you can see you can specify the in-person or online. Underneath that, though, you are going to see it's an option to designate, yes, this is a tech help meeting, or is this a media room training? So most of us I know are familiar with the media room itself. They've at least seen it hopefully once or twice. Our media room is here for you guys to use. It is an available tool for your business, especially for those of us who, again, plan to have some kind of social media presence. We encourage you guys to use the equipment in there. We bought it actually with the intentions of your using it. However, we just want you guys to know how to use the equipment before you start? So what we do for that is we just ask you guys to do 2 media room training sessions with Rob, where he's going to teach you how to use all the equipment in there. And that way you guys have free access to the room anytime moving forward. You don't have to worry about like, oh man, I need somebody else to be in there with me, because you guys will already know what to do. But that's going to be the last thing that I normally would point out on our website. Again, most of today's purpose was really just to kind of introduce you guys to this website, make sure you knew where things are. Because when we initially talk about it, we go over like 3 items, which is helpful, but it doesn't really go over the whole of what's offered here. So I like to make sure we do a deeper dive together just so it's easier moving forward for you guys. But now that we have done that, I know we've been able to ask questions along the way, but are there any lingering questions that anyone still has in the room that I can help to answer? And then before I'll kind of look at everyone in the room. Anybody online, if you guys have questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat or to unmute yourselves. But anybody in the room, thumbs up if we feel good. Rex got a question. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I think in order for you to have your own login, we would need to onboard you into the system, which can be done as an unlicensed assistant. So we can talk about that, and maybe that's something you might be able to talk to either Chip or even Teresa about, just to kind of get the structure of how that would work. Lynn might even be able to help with that too. But if that's the direction you guys decide you'll go in, then I would meet with you just kind of like I did with Kathy or Connie. I just called you Kathy. I knew it too. As soon as I said, I was like, why did I just call you Kathy? Yeah. I'm like, yep. I'm like, no, I don't. And as soon as it came out, I was like, that wasn't it. No, but as soon as like I did with Connie, but we'll meet together, we'll put you in the system, and then we would just have to, I think, set you guys up as a team officially in command. Shouldn't change anything on your end, but it would link the account so that you could see stuff for Connie. Yep. Well, yay. So yeah, stop by that way and we might be able to answer some of those questions for you guys. Any others in the room? Okay, good. Okay, you got it. Anybody else? Go good. Okay. Anybody online? This is always the hardest part because I never know, like, are you guys good? I'll give you guys like 30 more seconds to hopefully either type something or unmute yourselves. Those of us in person, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it, guys. You are welcome to go ahead and get back to enjoying your days. I hope the rest of it is sunshiny and fantastic for you guys. And I will hopefully see you all tomorrow. Yes, yes. And honestly, almost every single day, you guys should get out early. You should get out early. It's 9 to 11 just so you have like a basis. And that way I wasn't understating anything. Okay. You're so welcome, guys. I'm assuming my online friends are okay. Yay. Okay. Good. That's